O, legende, 10 legende što imam. Kako je legende, ajde malo da gledamo, naravno posle dužeg vremena gledamo malo PGL ili ti. Samo sekundu. Evo ga. Pa će mi da pogledamo malo, da se vratimo posle jako dužeg vremena. Izgleda, odgledamo turnir koji gledam već dugo, od kada je počeo bukvalno. Tako da vidimo da li će moj omiljeni Falcons da dobije, pošto igraju na 3 mape, bato, još 2 mape. Prvu mapu je dobio MOUZ, onda je drugu Falcons i tako idemo dalje. Sad se igra njuk. Ne znam kako se čujem, sad ću baš da vidim kako se čujem. Samo sekundu, da provim kako se čujem, samo izvinjam se. Da mi miš, samo sekundu vidim kako se čujem. Moram da mutiramo, da idem na moj stream. Sad se igra njuk. Ne znam kako se čujem, sad ću baš da vidim kako se čujem. Čujem se dobro, super. Da provim kako se čujem, samo izvinjam se. To je to, odlično. Kako ste mi da što ima kod vas? Čekaj.
Torsey, his hands on that M4, and he gets it in the last few bullets of the mag. Now up against Dexter, open hand, nade, dodged, flash to get him out.
Viš mi bagoj facecam, pogledaj majke ti. Aj, samo sekundu, sad ću reći facecam.
Problem for Batman, swooping in, full kit of utility, threw the nade in, had the smoke to his name.
But those are the rounds that are going to get this game into that realm of electricity. Do you truly think that MOUZ are going to lose this lead and lose the chance of pushing it into Ancient with an edge without going for wild rounds like this? No shot. That flashbang just ruins him.
To je to. Ma znači da baguje, bak. Ne znam šta može se ono događa. Kakav lik.
Y'all got any more Facebook memes? Or
ne znam šta mi kaže da se časkane prekinulo, o čemu priča ovaj. 9-7 za MOUZ. Vraćaju se bre. Falcons. Tako da ono legende.
To another 5-man setup, okay? T-sides with too many 5-man setups. And you start to think they're losing a little confidence in the default, going a little bit too much for rushes. CT side for them looked phenomenal because you have to split up and they could just go for one tactic. That pretty much worked the entire time to get Exertion his frags. But if you want to take down KINGSTON, it's not an elite eye.
Ne, radi, samo ti radi. Radi, ne, prekidaj. Prekidaj ti.
Nico started this second half with only 3 kills to his name. He's trying to recover. But as long as he tries to play catch up, with things like that,
that's the pressure on the cross you want to see. And listen, here's it.
3 kills to his name. He's trying to recover.
Samo sekundu.
But as long as he tries to play catch up, with things like that,
that's the pressure on the cross you want to see.
Vraćamo se.
Listen, here's it.
Samo da uradimo. Samo sekundu. To je to. Vraćamo se. Samo da uradimo. Samo sekundu. Ovo mi nije potrebno. Ćao, zdravo. Vraća se na PGL. I oni imaju stream na Twitchu, tako da ono.
With Dexter watching, and he hit that shot, and he hits another key one in the one.
Čekaj još da provim kako se čuje.
Second half with only 3 kills to his name. He's trying to recover. But as long as he tries to play catch
Lagan.
with things like that.
Lagan. Lagano.
It's actually still very fortunate for Falcons. This isn't a round where they overcommit, lose all 5 players.
Still, it's nothing but silver linings and a gut-wrenching feeling as MOUZ look to break through.
But MOUZ have to be extremely careful again.
Gledao sam meč pre nekih, ne kažem juče,
and he wins
Znate
his
kako
duel
su dobri
versus
meči?
Magic,
Cijel
even though
turnir
Magic
gram,
is hoping
mislim
someone
već
comes into
3 dana
but
unazad, 4.
that one kill could have stopped
Bile
things.
pauze.
He's the one who's 5
Ljudi,
and 15. Spinks is at the top 24 and 10.
ovakvi meči ne mogu da se vide svugdje, znači ovo treba gledati sve bukvalno. Ko voli counter mora
How can
gledati
Nico
ovo.
get freed up? Well, you put a scout on a full dedicated outer. This could end up letting Nico hold A, right? Clearly in the last round, that is problematic.
11-8.
Is Nico enough of a recovery?
Yeah,
No,
bot,
so
that-
TSS gets active on his own.
That's
And
a high
that is man advantage here for Falcons.
And this was the only thing they added to this round. It's now a 4-man cross. The one guy who's waiting a trophy goes down. And there's still pressure here.
Oh, he's got him.
It's gonna hurt.
No, but
Easy spam for Nico. He's been just thriving with that damage time and time again. Kicksand can lean down, be the early warning sign, but what if Brolin has a way to route down through vent instead? That A side.
nema ovdje džabe reklame, but baš u pičku.
Brolin, oh, he's got a blind P250 in front of him. Kicksand down to 3 bullets. He's not able to stop this. Now we're looking at a recovery. Nico sees them up
Ajde,
along
ajde.
the wall. Dexter gets his.
Jako
Oh,
bitan
shot
runda, jako bitan.
connects.
Au, kakav spec.
Right in front of the
Bravo,
doors
Nico.
there, made easy for
On
Nico.
ga
Shooting bullets
pokide.
at gold, man. Not wasting any ammo. Tapping for the collat on the cross. That's ridiculous. Any more HP and he gets away with that. It's a round that starts 4v5 here when Jimmy gets spotted by TSS. Another key moment for TSS in this series. Timeout here for Falcons. And this close game gets closer. That round was just to keep it alive though for Falcons. They were taking on water. They had very low money,
Timeout za
even lower.
Falcons. U tom
Ben
momentu
MOUZ
su
did.
uzeli, zato što sad posle ove runde Bato ide.
MOUZ at least
Ako
went
sad dobije
clean on
Falcons,
their upper
znači
hit.
ima
With
šanse još
this
jednu
lead,
rundu, to će biti 11-11 i onda mogu čak i da zvukuju overtime.
This TSS aggression up into the trophy room just finds Jimmy along the wall. Look how easy it looks for Nico. And this lineup, I mean, when I saw this peek up in front of him, dude, if Zershin has a bit more health, maybe that isn't as easy for Nico. Maybe we're talking about MOUZ sitting on 12.
But yeah, that's right. You don't just let people cross. You don't even let them think about it.
Dexter, Nico,
Ajde,
TSS,
brate,
these
ajde,
three
Falcons.
players making up for a struggling
Šteta što niko izašao iz G2, mnogo mi krivo, mnogo je bio dobar u tom
left a
timu.
lot to be
Skoro od
desired.
početka, bukvalno.
But core for core, Falcons keeping up. 4 rounds left in regulation. Nico finally going to try to change things up a little bit. We'll see if that Dexter shot from a long-range distance goes ahead to set up this. Oh, denied! Brolin just takes his head off. And all that pressure that's been successfully added through the smokes, that's not part of the equation here in round 21. Somebody will have to make up for the loss of Nico. Can it really be Kicksand? Looks good to start.
Zershin, look at that expand. Goes all the way to the right.
Out through Hut. Down they go again. The same 2 players who have struggled on A drop the ball again.
Okay, that's amazing. MOUZ will take 12 off this round. There's no chance of Falcons getting back into this site.
Izvinite, malo nije full screen.
Brolin's key frag on Nico. And in these one-on-one situations,
Nico
got his ace on the pistol. Yes, Nico had that great last round. But when he's been solo, both sides, MOUZ have got the better of him, whether that was with exertion or with Brolin on this round. And these are key rifle moments. They are not letting Nico build any momentum. He sits here still, 14 and 15.
1 round to go. We saw.
Whoa, wait, they come in super late. Oh, they were trying to drop someone in the back of the site. But yeah, that's kind of wild considering their money. But okay.
Yeah, costly, right? For what remains the question. But 1 round ago, we see Nico added into main instead, right? Freed up by Dexter and Garage to try to maybe prop up this A-site defense. No Nico as he goes back to Red Room. A falls just as quick again.
And to be fair, I think that was just a really nice adjustment for Brolin. I'm pretty sure he was watching the side of Mini. They're doing their cross smokes. Nico did have a good timing to peek, but hey, he does that to people all the time.
It's an unexpected turn of events in the first half. And it's an eventual close by the looks of it here in the second. MOUZ could damn well be walking into Ancient with 2 maps in their back pocket because we know that if this goes to Train, the odds shift away from them. We don't know what Train looks like for this team, but we know their Ancient can be competitive. We thought it all hinged on Dust 2. Lo and behold, Nuke could be the key to this series.
Nightmare map here for Magis. They need him to be the upper anchor. It's simple as that. And this is the spot that he was best in. I mean, when he switched over to play ramp earlier in his career, like last year when he was playing with the other iterations of Falcons, it wasn't that comfortable. He was too active, didn't know when to fall down. You know, always wanted to see him back in the upper anchor position. That makes sense for him. But here, low ADR, low kills, 0-4 on opening duels, and these upper hits are what are winning MOUZ important rounds.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get another. The pace for MOUZ has looked lethal. A chance to jump on it. And it's going to be Zershin to the tip of the spear, trying to go head hunting, but he will be clipped out by Dexter. It's a change up in the position. Brolin takes over Garage. There's more bodies where the first one came from. Dexter, be careful. Chucking grenades out. But already now MOUZ, they've got this information.
He has to be aware, though, like Dexter, of the fact that Nico is out here, but he can't actually cover that spot. The thing is, MOUZ have information, but they don't know he went back here.
And while it may be 5v4, it's also Magisk, who's been near non-existent throughout this third map, sitting on just the 5-7. So MOUZ will use that clock as a resource.
This is an interesting setup. It's a big commitment by Nico because he won't be able to help out upper really quickly. But if they do go outside, he's a genius. And if they're going for the wrap right now,
Nico leaning so far back.
He could literally win this round, depending on his kill. Sphinx, heavy hitter.
The heaviest so far on Nuke.
It's
a weird angle. Can't quite get him. There it is. E taps away. It's a good bit of damage.
That nade, it's got to go sailing.
Yeah, not quite that strong, brother. Dexter attacks with a sidearm, and that's going to take a second player off. They tried to tiptoe their way out into the yard. For a moment there, MOUZ looked lost.
Man.
For a moment.
I want it.
Čekaj samo da vidim još nešto, molim vas. Insta kako se čuje.
Listen, here's it.
So far back.
He could literally win this round, depending on his kill. Sphinx, heavy hitter.
The heaviest. So
to čujem se super. Ne mislim da se nečem dobro.
Every single round he's put himself in the spot where the T's are. They're going
to try to test Nico and Tesses. Those are the guys you want to fight with usually. Brolin on the brink of victory here on Nuke. Keep it simple. But Nico awaits. Bomb now dropped. Fast move out of Kingston. And it's Falcons to hold the line.
Idemo na overtime.
Scary on ramp, but that only sped up MOUZ into the death trap.
To 9-3 first half. It's an ace by Nico in the second pistol. That is what makes this possible.
Meni kaže da se slabo čujem, teško. A sad tako se sad čujem.
Your first
Tako
24
desi Kristijane.
Counter-Strike in this grand finals. Come on, Cluj! Could be another fast move. Nico get into secret uncontested.
Yes, I don't know if they spot. Man, Nico's got no smoke in this spot.
That's not it, dude. He doesn't have the tools to work with. Could his teammates bail him out?
Yes, they can. They can flash over top of secret. They can also, if he doesn't think he's spotted, I mean, he can sit there as long as he wants. Here's the flash.
Flash over for it. Doesn't swing immediately. Waits an extra second.
To je presne bio za G2 zbog Nika, sad za Falcons. I G2 mi je dalje omiljeni, ali Falcons zbog Nika, naravno. Bato. Ti, za koga navijaš ti?
And if Falcons are going to truly run this all the way back, it's got to come from the others. Magisk is able to shave one player off this, then disengage into the A site. What are you doing? What is Jimmy up to? Back's turn! And he gets it out from Squeaky. That's Jimmy in the middle. And with Dexter now sliding back into this site, he's scouring, looking for a lifeline. Denied by the Finn. Triple out of Jimmy. And MOUZ will not waste this chance. Tesses tasked with a near insurmountable clutch. There's already a player up above, and down they go, sent packing. 24 rounds of action on Nuke, and a real chance to hoist that trophy with or without Shuhei.
Idemo u treću mapu.
But she can't love me.
But I love you.
E sad jebi ga to ko. Sad pauza 10-15 minuta pa opet, što bi se rekao.
I won't play window anymore.
What's going on?
Ajde da mu vidimo ljudima.
Play your role. 1x bet.
Falcons. Falcons, brate moj. Falcons.
The first mouse was actually, you know, the old mice with a ball inside.
Oh, the ball,
right?
okay.
So you could spin that thing and like you were, you know.
You need to
doing
clean it as
circles.
well, right? Yeah, you take it out and
was-
clean it.
Yeah, completely different. But actually, I remember the first money I made on CS.
Yeah.
There was these WCG tournaments. You of course remember those. Before the tournament happened, they had like in my city like a event. So I worked there for one day and I was
Jo,
teaching
šta li će
people play
biti?
CS,
Šta ti
like,
misliš,
in the,
Kristijane,
like,
ko će pobediti?
shopping mall or
Iskreno, ali
something.
iskreno.
They had a like Cybertruck
Yeah,
with
yeah.
PCs and stuff. So the first money I got, I bought a mouse. That was Microsoft the 3.0.
Oh, of course, the classic. Yeah.
So that's how I started.
First mouse I play with, yeah, I mean, of course you had those really old school mouses, which I don't
Dobro.
remember which exactly it was.
Some optical thing with a cable on.
Yeah, exactly, like really
Yeah.
old school, but I think my first real mouse that I remember having is the Razer the Thudder, the 2013 or 14 Chroma or something like that.
Yeah.
It's forever been my favorite mouse to use, and yeah, I think that's the first one I was using.
The one I received as a gift in
Čekaj be, stani malo, molim te.
Christmas. It was the
Sad si me-
Microsoft 3.0.
Samo sekundu. Baš da vidim da li se slabo čujem, nema šansi. Ovo mi nije potrebno. Ćao, zdravo. Vraća se na PGL. Ne, moraš da, Vlado, moraš da i oni imaju stream na
Amazing
Twitchu,
preaim
tako da ono,
into control.
mora da
with that
pojačaš
you're
zvuk,
watching,
skoro do maksimuma, imaš?
And he hit that shot, and he hits another
Probaj
key
tako.
one.
Čekaj još jedan da probam kako se čuje. Sad provedem, baš čujem sve dobro, vidiš i sam, evo, gledaj, čuješ sam, vidiš. Vidiš, malo lagano. Eto, lagano. Probaj, samo pojačaj zvuk. Svoj.
I just that I had, and I really enjoyed it.
It was.
So you just play online tournament for 4 meters of Teflon.
Evo ga, Karigan.
My first mouse was the ZOWIE EC2.
E, me čuješ sad dobro.
You were still of a generation.
To ti je do
where EC2
mikrofona,
was
znaš,
like-
ako se odalje
Yeah,
malo,
it's
to je to,
got
jebi ga, šta da
with
radim.
a cable,
With
right?
a cable, yeah.
Nice,
Yeah, for sure. And
Okay.
I'm still playing with it today, actually.
Oh, sweet! You just use the wireless version,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Nice. EC2 stayed good. It's good shape.
For
Just
sure.
upgraded insides of it.
I still have it to this day. You know, I bought my house 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've saved all of these trophies that I've got. I got my first trophy that I won in 2003.
Yep.
It doesn't look as good as it used to, and it's been on the road and in the basement for many years, but now I have the space, so I built
Nice.
this trophy
Ne može se
cabinet,
uključiti
and I also-
titlovi.
I kept my first mouse. I'm very happy today that it was always something that, you know, throughout my career that, you know, you save these patches from
Yeah.
events to
Što mi
events,
je
and
chat previše
it was just
veliki,
something that
chat,
was
sorry.
special to me. So I still have my first mouse.
I don't remember. It must be A4 Tech.
Oh God, I don't even know what that is.
And also, I think after that,
E, tako.
X7.
Okay. You have to be like, it's difficult for you, right? There's more now, But I guess at the beginning of your career, there wasn't so many.
In the beginning, I wasn't looking for a right-hand mouse. I mean left-hand mouse.
Yeah.
I think I was just playing whatever I have.
Okay.
Also in net cafes, also
You got no choice.
what I can afford. That was the main thing. But I think I played with a lot to X7.
Nice.
It was also. You could do macro. You could send 3 bullets in one shot. You know,
Okay. Little macro cheats in there as well.
Yeah. When you're a kid,
you're just having fun with it, man.
Fun.
Kako lep trofej, brate. Šta mu na kraju blato?
An extended break.
Znači, kaže ovdje gornje na Vugu 12 minuta.
That one, that was the Counter-Strike equivalent to
Verovatno.
prime heavyweight boxing. I'm going to hit you, you hit me, I hit you. One of us is going to fall down. In the end, it happened to be Falcons, but man,
Sredi 4 mapa Ancient.
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. And I got
24 minuta počinje.
He woke
Ko će čekati
up,
24
pistol
minuta.
ace that felt like it was going to happen again, but MOUZ, man, at the very end, it was Jimmy, once again a crowd favorite with the Heimlich maneuver, because it looked like OT was on the cards.
made an amazing play right at the end, which no doubt will break down. But overall, Dust, what did you make of the performance on Nuke? We said it was a must-win map for MOUZ. We kind of felt that. Were you impressed with the nature of the victory, or still a few question marks?
I mean, certainly got to be impressed with the first half, right? I mean, that's exactly what you dream of a CT side Nuke, is one where you don't really have too many hassles. You're able to dominate pretty early from the front runner position and not really give up any slack, and they really didn't. I mean, they weren't really giving up a whole heck of a lot, and there was a couple maybe clutches they might have lost here and there. I think of the one that Dexter beat Torzy on, for example, is kind of one of the few things that kind of went against them. But we also got to give credit where credit's due, and Spinks was an absolute terror throughout the course of this game, and it was from start to finish on the CT side. You're going to see many
Mapa pre ove
highlights
što
from
je
this
bila
guy.
ona
Just absolutely
Miraž,
taking
znaš
care
ti
of
koliko
business, searching, also doing his
dobar
job
game
out in the
bio.
yard.
Šteta što
A couple
nisam
of those big
vatio da
rounds
strijem.
that we knew was going to be very key, and you know, ultimately
Sutra ću uzmem
in
strijem
a
celo,
game
ako
that
bude bila u
T-sides
stvari
were
ove
hard
finale.
to get. MOUZ just
Šteta
happened
što
to
ne
scratch
može više.
together a couple to get it done.
We've seen a lot of
Baš
messy
me krivo što
second
nisam počeo
rounds of this
početi strijem.
tournament.
Dakle,
FaZe have to
legende
clean
koje
up
sve
their
mače.
anti-ecos. Falcons have to clean up their
Počeo sam,
anti-ecos.
Kristijane, ne mogu više.
In some ways, these kind of half-baked ideas where you just send it towards A is probably a symptom of the fact that you're trying to
Počeo sam,
build
evo
out
ti
your
pogledaj.
gun rounds, Rich. You're trying to focus on what you
sad
think
ćete
the meat
više.
and potatoes are of an entire match. But
Znači,
you
meni
gotta
je u
remember
programu
the trimmings,
počeo
you
do
gotta
kraja,
remember
razumiješ?
everything else. If
Do
you
kraja
kind of
više ne
skip
možeš.
steps, yeah, all the fixins, you know, get your sides ready too, because honestly, you can't be
Evo,
taking
gledaj,
those rounds too
Evo
lackadaisically.
ti gledaj. Sad ću da minimiziram moda, gledaj sad kako se čuje ovdje. Čekaj. Viš, do kraja, razumiješ? Do kraja više ne možeš. Čuješ? Na YouTube koji se čuje. Evo, ne pričaj meni ništa. Pogledaj sad kada pojača. Evo, gledaj. Evo ti gledaj. Sad ću da minimiziram moda, gledaj sad kako se čuje ovdje. Čekaj. Do kraja, razumiješ? Čuješ sad? Čuješ? Na YouTube koji se čuje. Evo, ne pričaj meni ništa. Pogledaj sad kada pojača. To ti je to. Ne znam kako da ti namestim kad bolje ne mogu. Eto.
About earlier how, you know, we talk about KINGSTON and Magic and how KINGSTON just
Nemam
been
ja
carrying
kocku
Magic's
još.
ass on that upper bomb side.
Ako misliš na skinove, CSGO skins i to će biti. A za kotku kao kocku to... Kao kotku misliš ono na... Običnu kotku ne, neće biti. Ako misliš da CSGO skins sajtove, ili ti te sajtove može.
Said he's had a quiet final so far. The new guy from MOUZ, Spinks, anything but here on Nuke, really took over the game. I think he got 19 kills in the first half, an absolute
It broke the timeline. Yeah, it just broke the graphics.
Yeah, exactly. That's how many kills he got. Like, there's no need to show you them. It was just an imperious performance from the new guy.
Znači, Spinks koji je okibio 26 kila, 14 puta umro i 4 stenci. Brate, mili koji skoro lik ima. Vidite mi ovo.
He's going to take some more towards inner, around in the lower B area as well, but Spinks overall, I feel like one thing that's been so impressive about him
biće,
for MOUZ sports is that he's
nad.
had these games where he has a lot of kills, but sometimes it doesn't feel like they are actually
Čim
leading
vidiš da
to
se bavim
winning rounds. Like, I'm
CS2,
thinking of the
biće
Astralis games, for
sve što je
example,
vezano za
where
njega.
he ended up with so many frags, but it didn't seem to actually net victories.
Samo pitanje vremena.
He just put himself in pivotal positions.
Brate,
He's
šta
in
lik
spots where he can
napravi
win
ace.
the round. If he's getting a multi-frag in this spot, he's not just getting one guy who's trying to run into a bomb site. He's stopping the entire hit in its tracks.
Yeah, and I kind of figured that we would get a good performance out of Spinks defensively,
Dvaka,
just kind
ne
of
treba mi
understanding his history on this map and how he can play it and his intuition and his ability to just kind of have grit on stage in these tense moments. But what I was most impressed by was in the second half when you flip sides. Dude, think about some of the entries that Spinks was picking up. Like, he had that one mini that I really regard where he just goes up mini,
ti
gets a
Kristi neko
double,
da
and
nađeš
they take
za
the side
Falcons.
because of it. Then also you have there him abusing someone, getting aggressive inside a hut. Okay, sure, takes it.
A ova
doesn't
mapa,
hesitate, immediately follows up
Asian,
with the
brate,
second.
katastrofa,
And I think
najgora
between him
mapa.
and Jimmy, those two getting entry from them on the upper bomb side is what got them the game.
And absolutely, and just looking at a highlight package from Spinks right there, look at where he's getting all the kills, right? Not just playing towards the upper bomb side, he's just playing a static turret, he's pushing in, he's going to boost it up towards ramp, for example, it's everywhere. And that's something you expect, your star player does, or Exertion who plays towards outside to kind of be the guy everywhere, right? But the fact that Exertion just shutting down outside and being like, Spinks, you take your business all across the map, just frees up so much of resources for MOUZ.
From the look of those highlights, I mean, I think he's calling his own number. I think it's fair to say that. If he realizes that there's something that's happening or he's predicting the action, he's just going to say, put me here, put me in the boost. Like, you don't just get boosted up at ramp on a whim, really. He's the one that's kind of calling those sort of plays. And in a fledgling state MOUZ roster, it's good for there to be a couple more voices, a few people that say, I know where the action's going to be, just let me at it.
Well, look, we can get back to talking about Magisk now. That's one to forget. Obviously, he said in previous interviews he felt that they needed to keep going far and really redeem themselves because he was the holdover from the terrible 2024 that Falcons had. And look, I still think he's one of the best players in the history of the game. Obviously, achieved so much with Astralis. I think the Falcons project in 2024
Biće naravno klipuje na YouTube, naravno, kad bude bilo to, naravno.
Unfortunately, even the best can have
Ko mene nema
off
šta se
days, and
preskoči.
that was very much one.
And that's been the
Bukvalno
worry
sve se
for me
snima.
for this Falcons team, right? When we're talking about MOUZ, we have everyone chipping in.
Mislim,
Throughout
sve
the
što je u
entire
trendu kod
series,
mene,
throughout the
znaš.
entirety of the arena games, we've put aside of MOUZ, we've had everyone deliver some point or the other. We saw Dexter yesterday, we saw
Ovo
Dexter
18
today,
minuta,
we saw
mogu sam da jedem.
Imperious form today. Nico is Nico. And then you're looking at KINGSTON as well, as an IGL fracking out phase. I haven't seen a Magisk game yet. I haven't seen really pop off. And in this particular game, forget popping off, he was nowhere to be seen.
No, and the redemption that he's talking about, though, in some ways, Falcons have already achieved that. I'm not trying to say that they're going to lose this series or anything like that, but the amount of prize money they're winning here is more than they've ever won as an organization. They're already in a great standing.
Money being the problem with Falcons, famously.
Yeah,
obviously
they need a little bit more.
At least they're getting something back,
Yeah, but no, in terms of the VRS, I get it. Obviously, this pretty much secures a position at the major, and that's foundational. Foundational for any team, especially if, as we think, no matter how well this lineup does, best will in the world, they're probably going to add at least one star player when we get to the next break after the major, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things where, sure, VRS is important, but I think both of these teams are in
Ti ako
very
imaš
good position
miksetu, ti
just
si
by
dobar,
being in the
onda
grand finals. This is about pride and putting a trophy
Tebi
in the
služi za zvuk
cabinet. Look,
mikseta i za
this
mikrofon, a?
heroic core that
Sigurno
makes
i
the
za
Falcons
oba.
never quite got that far. You know, they had that top 4 finish at
Super,
Rio.
super.
They had a fun run at the
Evo ga,
Shanghai Major. They
znači
knocked
ovako.
Navi out, the tournament favorites, and they
Ovo su
literally created the
statistike.
spark kind of on the back half of
Ali vidjet ćemo
2024
da li je
that they
to
felt like Heroic was
istina.
going to be a top team, but they never really did quite
Pa
put
dobro.
titles on the line. Then you look over at the MOUZ Sports
Po ovim
core, and sure,
statistikama
they
malo
won
bolji
an
MOUZ,
in-studio
ali nije
tournament at
isto.
EPL Season 19. They won another smaller LAN as well, and they put themselves in a lot of deep positions, you know, top 4s, you name it. They were considered top 5 4s. But again, not a big trophy in the cabinet. That's what matters most. That trophy right there on that stage is a symbol of the trajectory of these two teams and which one can actually finally call themselves a true champion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think overall, though, you know, this looks like it's going to go the distance. I think there was enough there in Falcons. This game really was on a knife's edge. Let's talk a little bit about Nico and, you know, how we thought he did. Overall, we talked about him potentially taking over this game, and he had
znači,
flashes,
uvatio si
right?
lose streak, a? Koliko imaš izgubljenih?
He probably wants to forget about, right? But he was getting shut down.
Opa, Vlado, opa. Dobre, dobre. A koji si ranku u bre competitive po mapama, Mirage, Inferno, da.
He was looking great, and I think he had like 3 or 4 kills in that first half.
Pošto imam ja svoju ekipu, imam 2 tima koji, znaš kako igramo counter? Rasturamo. Samo danas ne možemo da igramo. Da su rotaciju grada. Ali vidjet ćeš sutra šta će biti. Znaš kakvi meče?
I will say that Nico final round, I think this is going to be burned
Koliko
into
si
his
napravio,
memory. He's
Kristijan,
not
lose
mullied out in
streak?
secret. He has a chance to take down
A, ne
Torzi,
igraš, Vlado,
who
okej,
was,
okej.
by the way, a hero of this game.
Znači
We
igraš
have
samo
one
premijerom,
round, round
dobro.
18, where we actually
Vidimo
saw
Niko koji skorimo.
Torzi doing what he does best,
16 stavljaš
lifting
4,
up
pa
the
dobro.
spirits of MOUZ in what was looking like a dire T side. He's able to find a 1v1 that was pivotal because MOUZ were getting stumped.
Pa brate,
They were
realno,
getting completely figured out, found out, and Torzi's able to come up with a key multi-frag in this situation. Yimpat taken down by the door player here, and what does Torzi do with 6 HP? Doesn't really just invite the duel necessarily, he just tucks tail, he runs towards lower, plays the timing rather well, and he has to hit this shot. It's so imperative that he was able to hit this because it birthed MOUZ into a string of rounds moving forward, and so for Torzi to have that moment, that's something he's going to always hold on to as an individual, and in some ways, even though it's a 1v1, it feels like the gravitas of that kill, that's a highlight for him.
Oh, absolutely. And also the way he played the 1v1, the little micros, knowing that if he just holds the angle, just one bullet, even through the edge of the box, is going to be taken down, plays aggressively, peeks into it, gets a kill. And again, considering it was a 13-11 game right there, I think it was a great play from Torzi. I do want to touch upon an earlier round in the first half, actually. Falcons, they call a timeout, right? And then they win a great round right there. And what's the answer coming? I think it's round number 8, I believe, and it's going to be KINGSTON, or it could have been Spinks himself saying, screw it, we're just going to go for this push. And we should probably have this round right here. And you can see Spinks just going to be alone again, by the way, pushing in, catches, I believe it is Magisk again, having a rough time here. Just so brazen, minute and 40 on the clock, catches Magisk, and then what does he do? He doesn't stop, it's a 5v4, pushes up, and KINGSTON saying, what the hell are you doing up there, right? And now we can see the rest of the players fall apart. Nico trying to find some space for his team, gets caught off guard, and just like that, a round crumbles, and that's what I love from this
čekamo, još 30 minuta.
They did not at any point allow Falcons to get a foothold on the
Ja pretpostavljam da Asiantu bolje Falcons.
They do seem to have this nice fluidity to the way they play just, the way that they're very mobile, the way they don't mind having pushes, the way that you can rely on Jimmy to, you know, just lock down a bomb site. He's good for a kill, maybe 2. And so it's kind of interesting. They're kind of reminiscent of, you know, some of the great teams of days gone by, where it's like, look, we might not be the best going forward, but we can build a wall and we're going to make you run into it.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's one of the things that MOUZ can flex is the total amount of skill they have spread across the server right now. I mean, you know, you have Brolin trying to be like a solid fragging in-game leader, and then you have 4 players who are very capable in those roles. Jimmy being an anchor, Spinks being kind of a flex rifler, you know, Torzi being that AWP that is fearless, that can go and make you plays, clutch, find openings, you name it. And I think the fact that they were able to contain the T side of Falcons so well in the first half was pivotal. The fact that they quieted Nico, they didn't allow him to just be able to be the normal player that he is, where he just takes control of the yard.
Ako je igro aktivno i došlo tih 25.000 poena, okej. To stvarno svaka čast. Treba to vremena. Realno.
Sitting on the sites, they're not just, you know, playing timid. That's what gets them in the trouble.
Ne, pa dobro, znaš kako to glasi, mislim, to je činjenica da svako ko je dobar igrač u takvom ranku misli da je cheater, u stvari nema to veze, to je sve skill. Skill i timing je, mislim. I očigledno imaš pošto na 25.000 poena, ti si, brate, doktorirao, što bi se rekao.
And that's pretty much what we saw here on this nuke as well. Not being afraid, catching, just basically playing disruptive CD side. And on Mirage, we didn't get to see much of the T side, was kind of flat. So I got to give credit where it's due. I think Cyclone and maybe Spinks as well. This CD sides have been the strength so far.
I had my reservations about how MOUZ would look tactically, especially on the offense. But they have made up in spades with how good these defenses are, how adaptive they are, how they're so willing to swap positions. I was looking at just how Spinks was able to dismantle Astralis yesterday on Inferno, and I forgot what position he played. I honestly wasn't really sure, because he just kept switching up, whether he was towards Arch side, whether he was towards B, sometimes he was on the porch side. Like, they're all so mobile right now, and I think that's because that's probably actually a symptom of them not having a perfect structure right now, one that they may settle into more as they get more embedded with this roster. But as it stands right now, it's actually difficult to game plan against. I think Falcons right there had a very tough time understanding who are we going to be fighting outside, where are we going to be fighting them, and what kind of problems are we going to see, because I feel like MOUZ are just doing so much stuff on the fly.
And it's also just the agency of the players, the individuals they have, right? All right, what do we have to work with? We don't have a really experienced IGL right now, but we have players who play together for a while, and we have Spinks coming in from Vitality, a major winner, and experience that he brings to the table. So let's give a little bit of freedom, and that faith that Brolan and Cyclone has given to these players, it's paying dividends right now.
I do wonder if Maui's hit the nail on the head. Obviously, we know how good Vitality were on Nuke historically. I do wonder if Spinks does have a level level of freedom on that particular map he might not have on some of the others. No doubt the players will tell us later once the tournament's over, because you got to keep your cards close to your chest while you're in the soup. Overall, just a final thought about Nuke, Dust, and then we'll move on to the next map. I mean, look, I think that Falcons, they seem to be a little bit over-reliant when they're on that T side of like, we're just going to do something crazy, we're going to do something spectacular. That's fine, you've got the players to do that. It's just kind of when it doesn't happen or you get out spectacular.
Danas sam htio da igram counter, ali bolje ovako da gledam ove finale.
Where do you go? What's the mid-round call?
I nakon gledam off streama,
KINGSTON's
tako da bojim
mid-round
sada da
calls have
pogledam do kraja.
generally been incredible this tournament, but they just couldn't really activate there, it felt like, on that
again,
map.
on a final note, on a map where T rounds were rare, it was MOUZ being able to decipher them. I mean, you look at Falcons, they weren't able to create the openings they normally can get out of Nico outside, or even Mages.
Koja je razlika između monitora TM panela i
rely upon him as a
IPS
lobby
panela?
player to be able to get inside HUT, get you a pick on the upper bomb site, help you take ramp room, help you do something, open up further options. They didn't really get that from him, and really no one was finding openings. Meanwhile, you look at MOUZ Sports, they did get some big clutch rounds. You know, we showed a couple of them, but I think then obviously there's also the Jimmy round that closes the whole thing down. I mean, that's a lobby player, you know, coming up through Squeaky and making a big play when they needed most.
Total RNG, by the way.
BS.
Yeah, it was. They literally won the game based on total BS.
Gle, ako ti ide od ruke to, što da ne ide, što da ne, a nemoj da preteraš, nema nikako da preteraš. To ne valja, to ne valja. Kad se navučiš previše, dok dobiješ, super, ali samo da ne gubiš. I makar i pozitivna nula je okej. Samo ne gubiš previše. A, znam, čuo sam to.
So that's what we're doing here. It's not a casters start game moment, just in case you're wondering. But with that being said, we can now start talking about Ancient. I'll let you set this one up, Maui, and then I'll come over to you, Dusk, because I know you've got something to say. But Ancient, you kind of felt this guarantees that we go to train.
Čekaj, kažeš da je Flex Team i Kina
I'm
zajedno?
not necessarily going to say that. I've seen two faces of Falcons, okay? I've seen two faces of Falcons on this map.
They say Falcons have many faces.
Exactly. They do. Many such cases. Nico has been hot and cold for me at middle, okay? Versus Astralis, I really was not liking the way that he was taking the fights. He was just eating all of the utility every single time, just charging head first into them, getting sideswiped by people. Like, even Cadian was getting the better of him at times. So he's going to be somebody that I really need to see watch out for. And is he going to actually give up that middle space, or is he going to actually peel on back and try to see if the fight is better taken in somewhere like Donut or on the A side?
Yeah, if we're just talking about just this first half, we have MOUZ Sports talking on the attacking side. The two things that really led them to success in the past on this has been A, Xerxen just being such a damn good mid-control player. He has so much intuition on how to push, when to push, how deep can he actually take it into Red Room or Donut before he gets into trouble, but then his ability to quickly pivot when he needs to meet up with Spinks and Brawl to attack the bomb side. He's more than willing to do it. And the other factor about how good their mid control is the fact that Jimmy is a more active agent on this team. Kind of reminds me a little bit of what Eli's is doing for FaZe now, where he's not just some A lurker sitting over there holding for an A push. No, he's behind Xerxen for a trade. He's there to help him find openings. And I think that's when they're at their best, is whenever they're able to get that mid control established with those two players. And their second big thing is that they've been more prone to call quick plays from spawn with this new lineup. And they have some very good high utility explosive executes that they can throw at both sides for a pacing change. And if we can see them mix that in properly, drop them in just throughout the course of the half at the right times, that can give them a good enough offense to win this match.
I think for the side of Falcons, as Maui alluded to, right, we've seen it good and bad. And I think what we saw bad initially was that B-side hold from KINGSTON and Testas. I think that was a question mark. They seemed a little uncomfortable with playing it, meaning that they needed to cheat a few of the players. I'm primarily talking about Dexter over towards the B bomb side. Primarily talking about Dexter over towards the B bomb side. Messy, but aggressive mid-control. And where FaZe failed was they failed to adapt to it, right? But that, for me, was a great adaptation coming out from them. Can they do it against MOUZ here today, though? I'm not too sure yet.
Here's the two things that I want to talk about from this side of the map. And when they played each other last on this map, it was Falcons being victorious. And the reason for that was because they were the more dominant mid-team on both sides of the map. MOUZ Sports really struggled in that area. And so that's something they're going to have to deal with here. Again, Falcons have a fantastic offense on all fronts. And here's the other thing I want to talk about. It's Spinks at B. Spinks never played Ancient when he was on Vitality. It was that team's permaban, and so he's been thrown into a very tough role where he's self-admitted as a B anchor. Sometimes he worries a little bit about the timings and things of that nature. But what they've been able to do lately is try to cover it by making him more aggressive and cave or with their mid pushes.
Mada i
And
Dexter
when they
dobar.
played last time around, I mean, yes, they opened up middle with getting Nico, Kicksan, everybody activated there, but then they actually just started targeting the extremities. They started going for fast plays towards B. I think they did 2 A executes actually in that game that they played versus MOUZ there. And then because they put so much more emphasis on middle, MOUZ that is, because Jimpat wanted to go over there and help, it was just a free bomb site for the taking. And then they were playing from behind. It was a masterclass in terms of Kicksan recognizing how are they going to adapt from our map control, and then what are they going to do, and he was just thinking 2 steps ahead the whole time.
I mean, MOUZ's first buy round on the CT side wanted to do just a fast B rush, right? And it felt like for the side of MOUZ, they didn't know, okay, are we going to just fight for cave and side control, or are we have to play for retake? And it felt like there were 2 minds about it. And once they finally figured out, all right, guys, we're going to go for this B control, setting in 3 players, kicks and do perfect timing, straight A execute.
Yes.
Again, like you said, 2 or 3 steps ahead of him, and that's what won Falcons that game.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be tough. That it just made a great point about Spinks and how it's like the unknown factor. What I will say is, after the map that he's just had, he's definitely dialed in. You know, it's like he's had that map. He's arrived in the final. My worry here is that I just think Kicksan's calling on Ancient is so good. It is. I think it's like, this might be, for me, the most fun map to watch and call on.
Yeah, I mean, he's very diverse. Again, we kind of talked about some of what Maui was saying, with their ability to call these quick extremity plays, but he can do that while mixing in more standard mid control. He's just very good at changing the pace. He has lots of options, and he's better in the mid round. Like here, there's going to be a lot of moments on Ancient where, yeah, you got some mid control. Yeah, you kind of crack through that first layer of B. Maybe you've put a little bit of pressure on A and you force the players to rotate, but then you have to make the call, the final call, the one to go for that final initiation to see if you can close down the round or not. I think Kicksan's just better in those moments. I think Brolin's a little bit more reliant upon Zershin being able to do great things at middle on his own, or with help with Jimmy, or just by calling quick strats out of spawn.
Does Brolin even have, how many maps does he even have under his belt? It's like this tournament, right?
Pretty much.
This tournament's been like 18 maps for some of these guys. More than like 2 or 3.
And it is impressive how far he's taken him so far. And I will say this about MOUZ Sports. They've gotten better as they play the tournament. Even when we talk about Spinks and his issues being a B anchor on Ancient because it's new for him, when we saw their later games on Ancient most recently, they fixed that.
Versus Stralis, he was sick.
Yeah.
He was actually he was getting these crazy multi-frags.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
They've adapted pretty quick is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, and one thing just to touch upon for Kingston is like, just a mid-rounding, right? Just a mid-rounding where, man, he was calling circles. Like, he was just calling circles around Carrigan's face yesterday. And sure, you could be like, Elige is a new addition, but it's the best map.
Still a good core, yeah.
It's still a very good core. It's still the best map. And he was just calling absolute circles.
But
I'm very curious, though, because I was critical of how they were holding B when they played against MOUZ in a group stage. Against FaZe yesterday, Kickson was the highest-rated player for their side. He was just a rock towards cave. And you can see how they decided, we're going to give him the bomb side, but we're going to have cave control and the backside control, and that worked out.
Maui, actually, you had something interesting to talk about, I feel like, on this B-bomb site with Kickson and Tessus, where they were having a little bit of struggles. Could you bring that? I think this is important to this game.
I mean, their bomb site holds before yesterday were abysmal. It was 25% for the whole tournament. They only had 1 successful retake before yesterday, but that changed. Yesterday, on the very first pistol round, they played a B retake, and they were able to retake it. Of course, it was the pistol, but they looked a lot more composed. They looked a lot more decisive in how they wanted to play off of each other. They understood that this is our weakness on the bomb side, and so that's why sometimes bringing stats to the table, you paint this picture, it looks like they're going to be awful at it. Everybody's like, hammer B, hammer B, hammer B. It's like the only thing they were in the lab doing is working on fixing their B. So obviously, Falcons, game to game, we're seeing improvement. We're seeing them realize their weaknesses, focus on those, and that's why, in a weird way, Richard, I might have to give some credit to Zonic finally. I might, what he's doing here. I mean, on this Falcons obviously, we know of all of his other achievements on the Straws of Vitality. But on Falcons, we didn't really see the progress. But with this 5-man lineup, with Zonic behind him, we are seeing it day to day.
It's interesting, too, because Nico plays a whole new role on this team than he's ever played. Every other time he's played this map, he's a B guy. Now he's a mid guy. It's a whole different role, but he's the type of guy that's versatile enough that we trust him to learn how to do it, and he has been getting better. But now, it's elimination on the line. And you got Che on the other end of that if you can get there where you have the clear edge, but you got to get past the spam first.
And also, I'm just very curious. I'm very curious when MOUZ have an answer for that lane and mid control coming out from Kickson and his men yesterday. Because what they did against FaZe was just succeeding. They had no space to work with. You have the double door smoke coming in, multiple mollies, put 2 players pushing cave, 1 towards Ram, Nico pushing towards mid. It was so suffocating for FaZe, and FaZe didn't have the answer. Will MOUZ?
I'm just going to say, if in Brolin's first tournament as an in-game leader
A
for
najčešće su imaju
MOUZ,
likovi dođu
he
da
makes
gledaju
us
Counter
all
Strike
eat our
turnir
words regarding his
znaš ono,
capability
čačkaju
in that role.
telefon
As they have
u
told
ranju.
us,
Koji
it's
si
not
kurac
about the
dolazio u
secondary
ranju.
callers. He is the man
Ili
in charge.
kući,
He is the
recimo.
one that's leading
Kad
the
ne
way
uživaš u Counter
with
Strike
his
kuži.
ideas.
Znaš
Then
koliko bi
we
ljudi
are
dalo
all
to
going
da
to have
ide
to
da gleda.
usher in what is Richard telling us, the Brolin era.
Let's go.
It could be the Brolan era. MOUZ have
Let's
one
go, bro.
hand on the trophy. A Falcons about to peck it away to tell the story. It's Scrawny and Launders.
Thank you, gentlemen. You know, it seems like what Richard wants, Richard gets.
Time, 10 sekundi.
Taking the beer. Shout out Chad and Alex one time.
Evo ga ovaj. Ovo je osnivač Countera.
It's been phenomenal
Svaka mu čast.
sharing this stadium with everybody. We're going to do it here on Ancient. There's a world where this one ends. There's a
Idemo.
world where we go train.
Ancient.
All I know is this crowd's still hungry, and tomorrow
A ovo
you
vidi
wake up
posljednju
with
mapu
no
koja je.
Counter-Strike. So make a little noise!
Yes, sir! Let's go, man. And as amazing as Falcons were on Ancient, MOUZ have 2 good wins behind them here at Cluj. They could very well carry that momentum forward from their last win that was on razor-thin margins and make something of this.
Posljednji put.
But Falcons should be teaming with confidence.
Idemo.
We saw that ace from Nico with a USP one map ago.
Te strana je...
Tesses ahead of him. Tesses looking to take
Bravo,
advantage
Tesses.
out of Nico's book. Glock dead. Falcons looking to establish early in the pistol. Fast swarm from Falcons looking reinvigorated after the loss back on Nuke.
Yeah, and they're probably a little bit frustrated as well, knowing that they could have won that. That was a map that ended 13-11, where Nico, every single round, read the setups, put himself in a position of frag, and got one bulleted by Exertion in the first half,
Magics.
by Brolin in the second. Brolin had 11 frags at the
1-0
end of
za
the game.
Falcons, idemo.
I think they
Let's
were
go.
all Nico, I swear.
That poor guy. You know what? I think it's sweet revenge for getting, you know, an ace in the pistol. Huh? You think you're going to set yourself up to make that comeback happen, and then he's the guy that gets flicked on round after round.
So immediately Falcons turning up
Svaka
the
čast,
temperature,
Vlado, svaka
full
čast,
map
Vlado.
control. Over down B as well.
Šta je sad?
MOUZ sitting back.
I think it's a tech pause. I saw Zershin tapping his headphones.
Okay.
Ima problem sa
Not to
slušajcem.
spoil this one, but I guess we're all going to have to wait.
Good thing we have beer.
Yeah, true. And Counter-Strike.
Come on. I šta je sad namještaj slušalice u sred gema? Šta si čekao do sad, majke ti? Kao puknu slušalice.
Yeah,
Koja
he's
je
moving.
fora, bre.
No damage has been taken. They're just going for it. It isn't, I'm sure he wasn't like, yeah, we could have won this round.
I need my audio. I've got a Glock, guys.
Čekaj, Kristijane, spamo te ovaj bot, jebem li mu svemu, jebem
Yeah,
zim.
what confidence was that setup we saw in the pistol flying down out of mid.
That's right,
Nico and Tesses, dude. I mean, we saw what they were able to do back on Mirage, tethering with one another.
Yeah.
What do they have in store for us on Ancient? Ooh, baby!
Well, Nico's got
Yeah!
Svaka čast.
number 2.
Kristijane, banovati bot zbog spama.
Nico chants in the building. Everywhere we go, there's a damn Nico chant.
Well, that's because everywhere he does this.
He does this.
Poljaci kaže nemoj Vlada slušalice.
Pretty impressive.
Guys, where's the scrawny chant?
No.
Ama što radi ovaj Nightbot? Kakav spam, čovječ?
Well, now I have to do a good job.
Poslije ću da rešim tog bota, jebem mu svemu jebem.
Ooh, talk about a good job, Tesses. What kind of timing is that? Brolin didn't make a peep.
Šta ću ti jebem?
It's the first gun out of MOUZ, and he gets shut down early, 5v4. I've got this weird heebie-jeebie kind of feeling that Tesses may just tear up this fourth map of the series. You know, critical positioning when it's going to come to cave. Able to get opening kills, to freeze up Dexter to do what he does inside this B bomb site. I mean, the AWP should be a pillar, I think, of the defense for Falcons throughout this map. You know, as long as he doesn't forget the clock exists, there's a world where he racks up a
Sad će
bunch
da
of
ga
round
izvolim,
wins for
gledaj
Falcons.
sad.
Test could do the same thing if he still had a head.
Sad će da mu jedan...
Zertion, clean entry frag,
Ajde,
pressure
bravo.
here for Magis, kill drop utility. They're going to try to charge. Why? Down to a 2 versus 4. You
Ajde,
gotta swing. And in doing so,
Nema ga
the
više, Vlado.
recovery has begun.
Magisk had a nightmare map over on Nuke. He could not buy a sight hold. We'll have a second lease here because, of course, we're in the best of 5, another chance. But MOUZ are trying to make this more interesting, and Magisk misses his opportunity for the moment.
Nico's going to find his back turn.
Exertion got another.
Hang on now, dude. 2v5. They've got low health. We're getting nervous.
No.
There's only one left.
KINGSTON. MP9. Pressed up against sight.
No, vidi ga,
Someone's got a
Vlado.
blind. 7
Vlado,
seconds on the
Legends.
clock. No way they steal this.
Oh.
Unbelievable.
Nam ga
Daylight robbery from MOUZ Sports. Isolated every duel.
Oh, that's
showing
not good.
off their firepower again.
Idemo, Vlado.
What they were missing,
Rešio sam ga,
what they
Vlado,
were
samo za
missing
tebe,
in
Vlado.
some of the
Ne brini.
strategies that we've seen over the tournament, talking about the late in IGL that is Brolin, watching him develop, they
Nikola
make up
Prodo.
for in the firepower department.
Ajmo Nikola Kovač.
That is an absolute disaster.
Ne mogu da verujem.
Start to crank this dial. You got a wounded CT side now. MOUZ have thrust themselves into the driver's seat of this early T side. I don't need to remind you, but they are already sitting map up in this series after that.
Hvala što sam došao, brate moj. Sad si ti premoren, brate. Nema ništa gore. Sad ručaš, kad se ručaš večeru, ako piješ kafu, popiješ kafu i
But Tessus
Vato,
takes matters
na
into
spavanje,
it.
a?
He's the guy you trust right now in these moments to make the hard fight happen. Unfortunately for him, last round, he stayed open because there were so many teammates alive, but clearly he couldn't trust them. Torzi gets a little information, makes it scared for them to try to cross, but look, the open site is here. Spinks has this waiting for him. KINGSTON's only got the MP9.
Ide pravo na njega. Gdje ćeš, Boraz?
Yikes.
Yeah, he'll be singed, and he has to leave.
Vidiš, mešto da sad sačuvaju, oni idu da rašuju. Bolje sačuvati 2 puške nego izgubiti obe.
That's crazy. That is absolutely insane. And they won mid, and that's something that they're going to be one of the teams that are going to be very good at doing this. We have seen how scrappy it gets. No one knows better than Ima what it takes to win mid control on this map and how many flashes you have to dodge, how many pieces of utility.
Abra mikrofon, bate, izudara ga 16 puta, jebem u mater.
But with the kills that they got versus Nico on Nuke, I'm starting to wonder if they can actually take over elbow control on this T side and truly cause a tragedy here for the Falcons.
This is Zertion already with 6 kills to his name. The rest of the team, 2 combined. Zertion is stepping up, and when we go back to 2024, Zertion was the biggest statistical drop-off from group stage to playoff play that the entire Counter-Strike world had to look, point at, and laugh. And figuring that out, that shouldn't have fallen on Shuhei. That was a him problem.
Yeah.
And so for him to suddenly step it up, because when we go back to Mirage, I said it. Here's the Zertion I know inside the playoffs.
Yeah,
he has since changed that.
I can remember the moments where he went aggressive and then peeled back.
You're speaking
of it. All right, Falcons. I mean, keeping up the same energy. It's working out for them. Taking deep B control. There were the smokes there to allow it.
It's electricity at their fingertips. A 5-7 in hand.
Bro.
Just the sidearm.
Naprijed.
Won't be able to get a second. Zertion's already made it up through the red room. Down goes Nico. Pistol only.
And this rush. I mean, the full commitment here from Zertion. Again. What we're seeing is exactly what we need to see.
It's in the face of course, lesser weapons. The reason they go down that ramp is because they only had a few guns to work with. Dexter's got a smoke, no kit.
Whoa, they don't know about Temple just yet, but they know that there's still 3 players alive. Zertion was spotted. Amazing.
Wide, trade instant. Everybody there to swarm. MOUZ making the most of a fast reaction. So be it. You have a 4v5. They've already won the 2v5. That's what kicked off this T side, and they're not going to stop. That's 3 rounds straight now for MOUZ.
I can remember the playoff rounds, the moments where Exertion pushed aggressively to do something, then took 1 step back, then swung back into the angle and died. Not the guy from the group stages, from the smaller
Bravo,
crowds.
brate, koji je
In
problem.
this final, though, he's trying to wash all those sins away. He's trying to show that he's not scared anymore, and he's proving it with the numbers.
Ajde, sad su full eko imaju.
Utility traded over
Skoro.
towards the B site. We've got guns back in hand for everybody. Early days in this fourth map.
Ne znam šta im je, brate, mili.
But you can feel the water in MOUZ's
Oho,
pod starting to
odvalio ga.
boil.
Another good
Ne
moment. of
pokušaju
timing.
da račuje rampu, ali ne
They're
vredi.
gonna, nope, not hit it, never mind.
Just the first layer, try to elicit some spam.
Little
try
jump
to
up from Spinks.
get some utility back.
Kixan waits. Brolin will remain the bomb carrier, sends a couple troops forward. They're going to try to
Očekuje ga.
carve a path to get closer to the site. The Falcons are trying to do the same thing on the other entry point.
Ne,
Brolin
ne
versus
pokušaju
an
Tess.
NP9. That's what's at hand.
Nikako ne
The
pokušaju.
clock. If Tess gets this kill, that bomb goes down, things get weird. CTs drop a smoke inside of Cave, and yet Tess still has yet to strike. Now there is a lean back happening at the moment from Falcons, so it feels to me like
Koji
if
ovo
Tess
strpljenje,
can't
brate.
manage,
He
it's
doesn't
going to have to come
move.
from the mid push.
He doesn't have to move. They've got the mid push coming in. He's in the right spot, and
Boils down to timing. They're going to boost. He sees it. That's an Opera dead. Magis makes sound. Recovery begins.
ball
Mouse
goes back,
Right.
has to cross again.
stuck outside that door for the time being. We hit 35 seconds on the clock. Everybody
Oh,
starts to
koji
come and clear
timing.
this Xbox climb up.
They know they're going to the wrong site, but they still might have to go back to it.
Jimpat still scouring, trying to find a way to get them back
Koja
over
loša
to
pozicija
that
Magic,
east site.
brate,
Magis
mnogo
just
loša pozicija.
disappeared and he
I
struggled
tu svakog
one
gleda.
map ago.
This is your
Can he
moment.
stop it? No,
Da pa vam kažem.
Top red peak.
Aj.
Nico's done with one, and it's going to have to be Kixan, but they could still. Nope,
Ne
they're
ide
not
ono
going to
dobro.
double back sprint into the A site. Both Aradona, Kixan quick to the
Dok mu lep
plate.
nož.
He knows.
Element of surprise, both have health. Down goes Spinks. Bomb plant busy, and he gets him off it. Can he live?
Bravo, brate.
Yes, he can.
Svaka čast.
Kixan locks it in.
It's a
Kako je to
perfect
odradio,
read.
jebote.
And they took so much time. That's a moment where MOUZ get uncomfortable, clock becomes an
Kako
issue.
ga klačao,
It looks like
like je,
another
da.
disaster out of Magisk where he just needs to get his
Brate
one
mili.
kill. If MOUZ keep playing like this, I'm not sure. We'll see. It's scary from both sides, though. And, I mean, you cannot fault anybody for feeling the pressure in this moment in a game like this. You're not going to play your best CS, Map 4,
Timeout za
of a
Falcons,
best of 5
1
grand
od 3.
final.
Tako da imat ćeš 2 timeouta i...
But what you will get is 2v5s. You will get clutches. You will get big moments. Born of mistakes.
I mean, we tried to
Ajde,
raise
ajde.
the alarm early. There are rounds in this series that are going to get wild. But it's within that the win can be grabbed by either. Did Kixan
Nevratno,
Kixan
nevratno.
time, yeah.
Svaka
So
čast,
that's money
kako
bottomed
je.
out as well. So big limitation here for Brolin.
Dexter, take notes.
I suppose at least
Iskreno,
everybody
Vlado,
has
ne
Kevlar,
znam,
so
to je
we've
svaki mi ne
definitely
znam.
seen worse.
A to mi pitaš njega.
No, you're going to have to call in sick.
Yeah. Your job's watching this best of 5.
Yeah, that's right. Get your priorities straight.
Ajde, ajde. Dobro, dobro. Vidi ga ovdje. Kak je liko, kak je se...
Ancient delivering so far. 3-3. Zertian top of the board, that's what you want to see. On the other side, TSS looking like TSS of Barrage.
Ajde, ajde, 3-3. Opa,
Down
koji
to half
damage.
health, though. Takes a bit of a gamble
Koji
stepping up
damage,
into that
brate.
fire. Especially with Brolin right on the other end of it. We talk about Brolin's limitation with an SMG, but TSS ends up dying.
Opa.
And then Torzi simultaneous second kill.
Odoše
This is going to force
jedan dobar
Magis to
igrač.
try to
Niko
recover, but
ode i
it doesn't
Tess.
actually come around that corner. Dude,
Yeah.
Jimmy is such a nuisance when it comes to playing inside A main.
He's
And right
such a-
now, MOUZ have opened up the correct rotation. With what Magis offered us back last map, I don't know if he can hold an entire camp of MOUZ players out of this site. He'll try his damnedest with the
Nisi
SMG,
mogao
but
ništa
he'll
da
find it
uradiš.
clear after the fact, and I think that cues up the double M4 save.
Yeah, he should have tried to take over main. Didn't want to go for the full swing, I think. Was
Kixin i
nervous
Dexter
someone
su
was there
ostali.
waiting
Ajde,
for
vidimo
it,
da
but
ćemo ćeš dobro.
went
Ići
for
opet
the
se čuvati.
reverse signpost fight. The plant will come in. Quiet death here for Falcons as they'll save with 2 after those 2 opening kills come so
Dobro.
quickly in the beginning. As T-Half gets started off the 2v5, but now it's not stopping.
I think it bodes really well for Brolin that the best moment of leadership we've seen so far at this event was that huge comeback on a T side versus Astralis, right? His teammates in the post-game Spinks immediately said, Brolin didn't make one mistake in calling that. And I think as time goes on, maybe that's when we see these mid-rounds power up. And we know Ancient, when you create openings off guys like Xerxin, dude, the mid-rounds could be key.
And the calls are great, but I think it's also a boon to Brolin to say that he was calling, but he was also entering. And he was entering on Nuke, and he made those first kills happen.
Ne, Vlado, čuvaj, Vlado.
Being crystal clear with your aim, being able to like clear everything perfectly, when you also have to organize the round is its own challenge. So the fact that that doesn't drop off as he's taking on this new responsibility.
Jako zanimljivo. Uglavnom svaki meč izvršuje na overtime, znači igraće overtime sigurno.
Falcons come into this with the 2 guns saved. Not much more
Dugo nisam gledao
behind it.
overtime, dobar overtime.
Dexter and Kixan.
Ne znam kako ste gledali. Okay.
Xerxin back at it, off to the races. There was a chance there for Kixan while the smoke got popped, but no contact made.
I love Xerxin being frisky inside of middle. Just keep testing him
Ti
here. That's how you're
petorice su
going
na
to
jednom
make your
sajtu.
money if you're MOUZ
Na B.
Sports.
Ao, brate mi.
Full A attack is taking shape. Everybody on B will have no targets. This round looks like it's done before it begins. Nico running over.
Doesn't die. When I look at this radar and I see all of MOUZ ready to pounce into an A site and Nico just desperately trying to get an angle out from Temple, I don't really believe. Prove me wrong. Couple shots missed, that opens the door and they will flood in with the bomb plant uncontested. Unfortunately here for Falcons, rifles don't get where they need to. Xerxin's patient out in the middle ends up costing him. Now, obviously, there is no kit on this play. They just have what they saved in the last one. But if they make this fast enough, there's a world where they could come through. The smoke going down in Donut really starts to turn this the other direction.
So deep.
And you can't help but save at this point. Pistol player up close is out of it. Kixan can wait around. But this is going to be MOUZ to establish the 5-3 early T-side lead.
Successful in this half. They've so much to play with here. And Falcons saving guns is good.
Pa realno jest.
Begin their first strike here on the buys. They need to make sure it's a streak of rounds. This has already gotten ugly fast. The expectations of Falcons on Ancient, a lot of it has to do with CT side, right, as well as T side. They put themselves in great positions to win.
Christian.
It's a 5v2.
Haven't heard a Jimmy chant for a little while.
Yeah, where are my Gooners at?
Sitting at the bottom of the board, it's Xerxin tip top, 10-6, keeping that momentum going.
5-3 za MOUZ, idemo lagano. I, Niko.
Jimmy got him, he heard it. And now Xerxin right there to trade him. So again, it's a fast clash out through the middle. Falcons continuously signing up for these, and MOUZ continuously coming out on top. God, how that 2 versus 5 has painted a tough picture for Falcons.
I mean, the plan of attack I love. Again, keep doing, oh my goodness, what a find. And we've seen Spinks do these lurks on T side here on Ancient.
Stands coming back. K-Player dead though, blindsided entirely. And Brolin gonna offer up just as clean as an opening. MOUZ are simply spiraling through this T side.
And it's a moment of insecurity because mid controls. One Kixan goes to check to see if anybody has lurked through.
Dexter not even able to hold that rifle. MOUZ are making a statement, folks.
Svaka čast, to je baš... Pistolice Secret Lab.
We're going SSJ4. Okay.
Smashing MOUZ. That's what's supposed to be happening. But again, Nico, hate to say it, has been out towards middle, flashed. It looks like effectively the utilities made his job so much harder.
I mean, it's amazing that, like, with MOUZ, you can have the player quality argument in their favor, right? These guys have mostly only played with each other in their careers. Like, playing pro and playing for this team has revitalized his career as well.
O, vidim da Akim.
And the fact that their player quality is so high that someone like Spinks could think about wanting to join MOUZ Sports, that speaks to the team that they've made.
It's wild because as MOUZ struggled throughout the year, making playoffs but never winning, when it
6-3 za
truly
MOUZ.
mattered most, you know,
Ovo
the
ne valja
conversation
nikako.
around them was never really an in-game leadership change. It just felt like more time is what they wanted and what they were going to get. The late roster swap of MOUZ shook the world at the start of 25.
And they're too late to stop the A play.
Bate, niko, ne da ga neće.
Maybe a little too overzealous, but it really speaks to the confidence here of MOUZ. They truly think that they can just topple this defense. What can Falcons do to change their minds?
Everything's working here for MOUZ. Open A site, flashes are brilliant. Nigo dies in the smoke. Dexter low on HP. He gets crushed. Everyone's off the board.
Ne valja ovo 7-3.
Enough's enough in their minds.
Brate.
Tapping into the promise that they pull on full display.
And they aren't even having to show their full hand anymore. The lurks up towards B. The crazy part about that call is the amount of times Falcons actually started out with full B control. Tessus with that push on ramp, Magisk walking down, and yet Spinks found the one round where there was no one there. Got the info to make the move. It's been nice and varied here on the attacks with a really good amount of this mid control, and Nigo dies again.
Yeah, but 3 puta.
Will pick up one. Tessus gets there.
Bravo, jednom
It's a
da
bit
ga
of a prolonged spray, but again, look at the rapid moves of MOUZ. Again, they instantly transition. Magisk with the high alert warning of the shadow. Now that's a good amount of damage, right? Considering he's working with little, that is what he's going to have to do to try to stop this. We're getting into the very tail end of this first half. Falcons just trying to keep up. And how many times have we seen sites falter with nothing to be proud of? This time something different. But watch MOUZ slow it down again.
Yeah, but how do you find Dexter? You literally cannot.
Ne ide, lejte. Samo što završuje meč i odmah ja. Ali bit će i toga naravno.
This is the sweatiest angle that you could possibly be in, and he can hear everything.
Ajde, imao si ih. Brate, mili Dexter.
CT's given plenty of room to work with. Dexter's going to try to go sniff this out.
Ima AWP vama, no.
Dexter just wants his AWP.
Oh, he'll take a couple kills instead, I think, but...
Ne seri timinga.
Oh, he's going to start climbing up. He's going the wrong direction. What else happens here? Because Torshi's got a full bar of health. Nice shot, Dexter. No instant trade back. Torshi, you got 20 seconds to cook. Bomb on your back, but fully surrounded.
Za Falcons.
I think I want to call this. But he'll put the fire on Kickstand's feet. A little bit of pressure here for Falcons as the CT side goes on. It's a good recovery. It's finally a moment, albeit, versus some of an easier buy where Magisk can kind of take a breath, right? He contributed in this one.
He did, yes. And winning mid, even though they lose Nico at first, however they can do it, that's just what that needs to happen. Makes sense. Now we have MOUZ try it again. Even though it's versus a low buy, their flashes have been better, their aimers have been better.
Timeout opet za, ne, prvi timeout za MOUZ, nisam ni gledao.
MOUZ will take their first time out. No better time to do it.
That's how he gets the AK. Fast push into the cave
Ovdje Magisk
entrance.
napravio dobar damage na oba lika iz MOUZ-a. To mi sviđa. Baš shvatio
You can
timing.
definitely say that even though they're trailing in the round count, they're not going down without a fight. Keeping the pace up, trying to fight middle, even when Nico presses into elbow, doesn't get his kill. At least cave goes well.
It's worth a try, but at this point, results are the only thing that matters. There's no more rope left.
Bravo. Ima kontrolu mida, što bi se rekao. Bravo, kako je meč sačekao.
There's been good layering from Falcons players in these last couple of rounds. Nobody's really had to operate on their own. So fighting for it, man advantage. But Sershin, who's been shining brighter than any other member of MOUZ, is still up. And as long as he stands, entry's possible for the T's. We're going to get a smoke over the top, blocking off CT spawn. An additional smoke then comes down into Donut, but Dexter not going to be bothered by it. It actually looks like a missed smoke. That one falls back into middle. Yeah, not ideal. Torshi whiffed that. tries to cross paths to climb up and join his two teammates. That's the bomb confirmed to be at the bottom of mid. What would it be doing there? Odds are trying to climb up to the B site. Makes total sense that Falcons rotate over and go heavy on this. Hell, they could even swing in.
Smart from Tessus, though. He's getting comfy in the site, opens up spots for Nico.
We saw a 2v5 come through from a similar position. Surely Falcons don't let that happen again.
A million eyes
Final
on
round
this.
of the defense. Jimmy done with one. Spinks can't trade. And
Koji su
Torch is looking to
opikovi.
get that hop out.
Pa bravo.
Takes a bullet to the face. Falcons swoop forward. And now they've got this crunch on the
Kako
exit.
ga je tes?
It's indeed a
Svaka
fit
čast.
for the
Svaka
defense.
čast.
A slight recovery at the tail end of this first half.
Falcons want train. So they make the most of it.
Okay.
There we go. That's the best one so far. That's elite ball knowledge right there. Well, they're going to have to do this the hard way. They made Nuke interesting off the back of the pistol ace out of Nico. And they definitely could have won that game on a
A
different
svi
day.
najbolji za Falcons u većini
But
slučajeva.
these fine margins, there is something about the fact that MOUZ are coming out ahead almost every single time. It's a critical juncture. It's a critical 2K. It's a critical clutch. We're talking about MOUZ. They have the spotlight right now.
Ali realno, legenda,
playing
ovo
from
je
a
jako,
position of
jako stres situacija. I pije vodicu.
Chance to collect themselves. Win another pistol. Pistols have looked
Vitamin.
strong, has to be noted
Ali
again.
lepi
Back
trofej,
on
realno,
Nuke,
da se
they
ne lažemo.
lost a conversion in the pistol. That's what really cost them in the end. Definitely add it to the pile anyways. They start this map with one. Can they do it again?
Love the way that Tess has played this.
Yeah, really
the way
drew
he
them
fits
out.
in. It's like, how do you even know that he's going to layer the setup like this? It's beautiful. It's a way to be aggressive towards Cape,
No,
but
bravo,
support at the same
7-5.
time.
Idemo.
Here we go.
All right, man.
Stiži.
This
Stiži
could
Falcons
be
naravno.
the last pistol that we see here in this grand finals if Falcons aren't careful. T-Attack's coming towards the A site gym pat, waiting here with a smoke in hand. Or Molly.
Incendiary, yeah, even better, right? It's a big pack of players that are going to try to burst past him. His closest rotate will be Torji over towards Donut. And so what serves as the trigger to chuck it down? He sees some shadows, drops it. They can't really go through it. Scrambled rotation coming out from MOUZ.
It's awkward. Limited utility here. They can wait the 7 seconds out, then go.
They will be smoked, but they'll drop utility of their own. So CT's coming through
Idemo.
with no vision. That
Bra.
flash. Brolin blinds the whole entire pack. And then a push out from him. And he doesn't collect the kill with it. So we've got Falcons in a prime spot
Dobre.
4v2.
Oh, trio
Idemo.
of kills. Can't find that bomb planner. 2 retaking from Donut. Good luck. KINGSTON gives him a moment. Smoke comes up a little earlier than he expects.
You know,
Kako
2v4 is
pobjegao.
easier than 2v5s, they say.
That's true.
Smoke grenade over towards lane. That's going to bring a player back. We've got 3 low health bars here for Falcons. Zershin, can you truly crank
Kako
this
pika,
dial?
tako i
Dexter's
zna
going to go down first.
da odabere
These
taj
dual
timing.
Berettas looking to get
U-
roaring.
Wait, who's scared of who right now?
Right? Falcons leading back. There's a second one. MOUZ have gotten 3
Mm.
kills. And now it's going to be a desperate kill.
Oh.
Unbelievable again.
Ne
They
mogu
claw
da
it back. Man disadvantage means nothing.
2v4.
Nevjerojatno.
And they get it. A 2v5 and a 2v4 in this map.
The kinds of crushing rounds
Ne mogu da verujem.
that will cost Falcons.
Daj, 8-5.
There is no excuse for not finding, not even a trade in that until the very end, but when it was too late.
Too timid. Who's afraid of who, you asked? MOUZ have primed themselves for a run to victory in map 4. Zershin right at it, and he's going to catch an assist thanks to Jimmy. Drive-by from Brolin.
That says it all right there. They instantly go to CT side, win their mid-fight
Dobro,
versus Nico,
dobro.
catch him full blind. Falcons could not conjure this up for themselves.
Smoke in front of Tess. Deagle chancing to be.
Lep nožima stvarno, i ovo je PMK, brate, plavi kako lepo. Sa stikerima.
Dexter floats out middle. Careful, Brolin, changing guns, matches connects.
Timing.
Can Falcons pull it off themselves? They're losing bodies out mid. Middle of the map completely to MOUZ's favor. Fire in front of them cools them off. Falcons can't go instantly sprinting in. A change of the weaponry for Cave. But the bodies here, again, 3 players strong inside the site. Jimmy already climbed up. If Falcons think that they can go back, they would be cut off. And at that point early, red flag, that is what they need. But you've got Spinx ready to come out and trade. Missed shots, picks them both up in the end. And that is MOUZ 3 alive to go up 9-5.
Yeah, and Falcons have not shown us those hot mid-round moments low on players getting kills. Instead, it's just an easy close from MOUZ. Everybody alive.
Stava perdido, ecco. E lose do MP9.
Majority win again. Looking to take 10 swiftly.
Kakav trofej, baš lep trofej. Da, ecco.
MOUZ's first big arena playoffs win. Here are the grand finals in a best of 5. Could be queued up. Let's see if the smell of it will affect their play, the thought of it.
Spinx, not looking too shaken, is going to go ahead, catch a couple kills. He has straight up said that he is trying to teach them how to win, how to hold their nerve in these sorts of moments. Because Spinx has won on bigger stages in bigger moments, but he's got to inject that into his teammates. And by God, with that 4K, he'll make quick work of them in the 15th. MOUZ sitting comfortably, 3 rounds from victory.
Spinx looking so comfortable. What a debut this is going to be for this team. New IGL Spinx looking like such a good part of this roster. Even talking about how he's helping out with the fact that he's got so much experience under his belt in situations like this. He's lifted the arena trophies before.
Come on.
And now he might help the rest of MOUZ do it too.
Spinx charges forward. Tell me this isn't somebody brimming over with confidence. Total lane control. He's even got Brolin to support him. But what does this do for Nico? He's going to carve a path through. And if Brolin comes back, that's an easy victim.
Yes, he was a little bit worried about it. Oh my God.
Nico senses another barrel advantage. There we go. A little Kovac X Factor. KINGSTON makes the most of it. Doesn't look like this will go down without a fight. But there are fights on all fronts. Bomb still lingers over towards A.
Yeah, what's another 2v5, Connor?
Surely not.
The bomb in the position that it's at, the T's have no idea. It's very possible they walk into another duel. Oh, but KINGSTON makes sure that that just won't happen again.
Good for him to go top middle to collect 2 kills with that. KINGSTON, somebody who we've been singing his praise in terms of an individual impact. Grand Finals not his best series, but tapping into it in the 16th round. A critical moment where Falcons prove this game's maybe got some legs still to stand on. And who better than Nico to step up?
He finds a trick, getting into cave while Brolin and Spinx are off duty. And even reading that Spinx will follow up after Brolin, this is nice.
Because for everything Spinx should be able to bring to this MOUZ camp, Nico should be bringing to Falcons and then some.
And then some, absolutely, absolutely. But you'd be remiss to say that he has in this finals. As I think, as hard as those kills have been, him getting one-bulleted every time.
Za MOUZ naravno, i 2-1 pobjedama.
Flash is no good.
Oh,
the flash is awful.
We've got players looking up into the skies. God won't save you now. Spinx on the top of ramp, doubles down. And it's the SMGs pressed into them. Just when Falcons thought they had momentum, they're going to have to bank on Magisk to clutch. And clutches are what he has offered us lately. Trying to prove why he has, on this roster, stayed longer than everybody else. 2 low players, peeks in, gets both, but will not find that last.
Oh, he had the read. He looked in the right direction. But he still gets traded out. A very nice attempt in that moment.
It's the 2 easy kills he finds, but Torji hot on his heels. It's a couple rounds separating MOUZ from a victory. A MOUZ who first proved that they could do big things back at the IEM Rio Major when they took down Cloud9. That is when, for a moment, the world stood still and understand that these young players had potential. It has been years since we have seen them slowly fine-tune and craft themselves not from the plucky underdogs, but to the consistent playoff attendees.
Jebi ga, baš ono jebi ga, unlucky.
They're a team that see major playoffs, that make deep runs. And that do win events. But now they're trying to reach a new strata.
Ne mogu li znam si koliko ovo stresno
They're trying to build an aura around them.
Idem. Vidi kvota koja je
Create some
9.54.
fear with their opponents. That they can take a championship in any setting. Wins like this will be remembered, both for the team and the teams that play
All the
against them.
smoke.
Falcons just 6 rounds. Maybe one last full buy. And Nico swings out to his death.
Surgeon able to catch him again. Easy does it. Openings in middle have not been to Falcons' favor. Kingston tries to recover. If anything has opened up possibility, it's these kinds of B approaches. And Kingston saw that shoulder. Oh, but he gets smoked off. Roland's able to dodge that.
His teammate shot at him. Why did he do that?
From sight. 1 kill to his name, Magis, quick trade, looks for a little bit more. Xertion hot on his heels from middle red room into this B bomb site while it was sitting under question. And Jimpat swarms because this is a MOUZ camp that tether with conviction and a ferociousness that is currently consuming Falcons. 6 map match championship points.
The buy comes straight away into two Galils here. A bunch of utility, a third one pops up. And that's the best they've got, a Deagle for Nico. A Tech 9 for the IGL here of Falcons. And what could be the final crushing blow here for MOUZ.
Fast again by the looks of it.
Koliko ja vidim, MOUZ je
kind of a
dobio.
reaction, but
Nikad
MOUZ are
nije
comfortable right now in their zone. Formidable,
ništa nije ne rešio,
to
ali
say the least.
retko ko se vraća sa 12-6 na preokret, na overtime i na pin poslu. Teško.
Safe to say Nico has been
Ima šanse,
non-existent in
ali
this T
teško.
side,
Mislim ima
completely
nade.
shuttered out of mid by a collection of different bodies. Jimpat to be tested as the pack comes at him. He's got him lined up,
GG.
and the flash. Spinks offers a helping hand in more than one way. But there is at least a response back from
Ajde,
Falcons.
frende.
Comes at a cost of HP. Brolin still waiting outside of the smoke. Xertion bested.
Očekivo ga je, dobro.
Falcons are going to try to get that bomb down. It's another man disadvantage, but when has that held MOUZ back?
Don't look the wrong way.
And it doesn't look like it will again. Torchi's got the flash to get him out from the donut. Brolin scours sight. T sit back and wait. Nico flustered, flush forward, finds his ankle. Finally finds impact. Torzi, the one guy they could bank on, won't be able to get it done now. MOUZ have offered up one more. Falcons 5 demanded.
Oh, it's a gift. They catch the flank. It's MOUZ Sport in a lot of good positions to stop that. Jimmy could have done it in one spray. Cut them down as they were exiting main. Instead, Falcons survive.
Još što bi se spao, čovječe.
This comeback will have to be the 6 rounds in total. 5 now left. That they have MOUZ at least down to 3 MP9s. Just don't lose to these.
These utilities come down to a... Oh, wait. Jimmy back into A main. Dude, this guy is hard. He hits hard. Fast trade back, luckily for them. Falcons able to respond here. Things are getting sketchy with Xertion having cover.
Just don't lose to these.
Looking for the headshot, and that's where that's going to go down. Brolin's got an angle out from Donut. Can't hold it back.
Magic.
Easy pickups now.
Ovo je Magic što radi, to je
Magis is coming alive. Because if we're talking about somebody who knows how to win,
28 će biti, da.
then it should be Magis to offer something. 3 kills to his name here in round 20. 20 frags to him at the same time. And so Falcons will earn a chance to catch their breath because up next is the lesser buy.
It's late to wake up, but he still hears the alarm. He's jumped to the call of duty.
Kako dobro igra, vrat.
20 frags is something very important. It's what we didn't get on Nuke. The only thing we'll find out is whether or not it's too late in this map. In that final round, 1 trade on Jimmy. And that map goes to overtime.
Yeah, Jimmy is a
1 upper hold.
hard player to get out of a main once he's able to get his hooks in. But as he goes barreling into it, you can see how it kind of all gets frazzled. Luckily for Falcons, number is strong on A main.
And this was an expensive round. We do have the
Kako nije
investment here
expensive,
for MOUZ.
I 12
It still
dobro.
feels like anyone could be the last, however. Even with pistols, if there's one FAMAS on Spinks, there is still a way. We've seen a 2v5 and a 2v4 for MOUZ within this match. We've seen almost every clutch go their way across this series. There have been no shortage of tragedies for the Falcons. Look alive.
They try to turn it back fast, but
Idemo.
we got 4 players for Falcons flooding out from it. And Magis,
Oni
that's a
dalje imaju
very
4
critical
match
kill, because if
point,
Zertion's even
match
able to delay a bit more,
match
maybe
point,
Brolin comes up
match
from
point.
Donut. This is the kind of buy that MOUZ bring to the table that Falcons cannot lose to.
No set play towards the A side.
Da,
Instead,
jednostavno
it's
ne
just
smije
like
izgubiti.
be lean. This is looking
Jednostavno.
correct. Mid totally open. They're not afraid to go here. Very important that they stick to it.
A, uvidio je rush sad.
If Nico fails on mid one more time, they will not win the game. But they will not win the game without Nico fighting mid.
Well, this should be an easy one for him. He smokes off the pack, and they actually stand inside it. That B-bomb site's going to be found completely vacant, free for the taking for Falcons. Round 21,
Što ga boosta.
free.
Dobro.
Here come the CTs to try to
Niko
collect whatever
ima
they can. Nico knows.
All should be good. Spinks is FAMAS. Nothing really for him. Oh, come on.
Nemoj me pričati.
It's a weapon to be grabbed, but you're not going to compromise this bomb site. The round will not come with the death of Nico.
Yeah, they'll take the upgrade.
There's
That's
a lot of
fine.
other rounds that have come with the opening deaths of Nico.
Da, oni sad igraju sigurno, svaka čast. MOUZ.
But we saw him back on Nuke at 3 kills. End of the first half, gets an ace. At any moment, the beauty of Nico's career is that he has been omnipresent and always able. So what will his contributions look like when push comes to shove here in the dying moments of Falcons' attempt in Cluj? AK saved here by Zertion. 2 players survive. Falcons now only need 3.
And that's what they have to tell themselves too. They've gotten close.
It's a Cyclone,
There's still
Brolin timeout.
There's still one more thing, you know, like it's still MOUZ. They're going to
Drugi
show
time
up mid.
MOUZ.
They're going to be comfortable
MOUZ.
pushing B. They have the full confidence. They're going to try every aggressive move. If they don't do that, that would be a complete indictment on MOUZ, and that would allow Falcons back into the game. But if MOUZ can't remember, their memory is so short that they can't remember that they have decimated Nico every single attempt on mid, whether it was T or CT side, then I don't know what to tell you.
Let's go.
This has to be Nico
Joj.
if they're going to make this happen. Every team Nico's played for, he knows it has to be him. Here in this exact position, on this map, on the attack,
Jeste map 4.
he has that weight on his shoulders.
Jeste
He
koje to
sits here
opterećenje.
11 and 14 and has to be Atlas.
Back at it again, Nico into the elbow. Smoke beats him.
Opet.
And just like that.
Nema sreće.
Sitting on the angle.
GG, nema
Gets
sreće.
deleted by again the successful press. Falcons, you could take your time because you're sitting pretty on a minute 30, but what you don't have is your X factor. So who's going to step up in his absence? Nico came here to win. And with a lot of bodies leaning back, they're going to try to charge through smoke. I mean, this is insane. Right into Brolin. It's a meat grinder meant to be. Zertion locks it in. Lights out performance from the player who has been questioned in playoffs to the tip of the spear for MOUZ.
They did it. They did it in their debut. They did it with Spinks, their firepower upgrade. They shot hard. They outdid Falcons every dimension of the game. 1-to-1, whether it was Brolin on Nuke, whether it was Exertion with this high-quality grand finals, big stadium performance. The tag pauses when they needed it from Cyclone. Torzi's consistently see throughout. You can't ask for much more from a debut.
A roster that was questioned when they announced that change, because who could imagine that these players shaped and molded by Shuhei grew up together. together and because who could imagine that these players shaped
Baš
and
glupo.
molded by
A šta je tu je?
grew up together and a mutiny in the MOUZ camp at the final chance to enter 2025 without the head that we knew, and here they are approaching their trophy, your PGL Cluj Napoca champions,
Svaka čast, svaka čast. Osvojili su ga. Svaka čast, šta vam kažem. Nema što zaslužili su. Bolji su bili jebi ga G2. Od Falcons. Tako da legende, što se tiče ovog streama, da kažemo to bilo to. Vidimo se u sljedećem klipu streamu, tako da legende uživajte i vidim šta vam kažem toga. Malo sam se svidao ovaj turnir, ako ga neko gleda od vas. Tako da ono, mislim gleda u celosti, od početka do kraja. Ako ne, jebi ga, bit će. Što se tiče ovog streama, to je bilo to i vidimo se u sljedećem klipu legende. Ćao, bok po legende, bok pa pod.